This is definitely going to come off here. Well, I definitely made sure that wasn't coming off. This string right here is attached and reinforced with multiple points of tape. It goes all the way up here into this thing. And I just gotta free it now. Alright, she's free now. So this guy, if you're wondering what it was a modified place to hold my Metadyne launcher. Lined the inside with a binder. Put the outside with arm pads. So it would be able to take a hit, and then covered it up with this ghillie mesh. The same stuff they use in real ghillie suits. So this is off. Goodbye, good riddance. One less thing to worry about. Next is to remove the ghillie mesh, which is attached to a tie wrap here at this point. So I gotta cut these out to remove this, and then I can replace it. Just went in there with an X-Acto knife, had scissors, so that's good. So we can pull this guy out of here. So this right here is the pocket for my old radio. This needs to come out, and we'll be putting it in the new pockets. All right, she's out of there. You can see there's just some moly held on by this. Paired these pockets to each other. This is kind of a bigger pocket than these new ones. I'm gonna have to modify this next. All right, so we're gonna pull this out. All right. So this is our fuel source. Put it on there for now. And shield plate. Pull this out of here. There's nothing in there. All right, cool. Hook this up how it should be. This will redirect it to whatever direction I want. This way. That way those buttons don't get hit. So here's the issue. That's not going to be in its way. I'm going to cut into this thing. So let's see how we want this thing. So we want to make sure it's got enough room that it can breathe. So the heat vents come out of here. So we want it to be loose fit. So sort of like that, but not enough so the thing don't fall out on me when I'm running. That's not going anywhere. All right, let's give it a try here. So I'm thinking right around here. So if I go sideways, if it tears, it'll hit the stitching here. I need to get it just right. I think it's right about here. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't cut into my thing here. Right about here, I'm thinking. Hopefully I don't cut myself here. More space than that is necessary to get that hose through. I'm only cutting it in a line. There's a reason behind that. All right, perfect. So I want it to be able to hold it in place. Let's see if I can hose that through. No, I need a bigger space probably. All right, so it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. That's fine. Let's keep cutting then. Fit that thing through. And if I have to go in with a washer, I will. Let's see if she fits now. Let's need a little bit more space here. So I'm starting to have some success here, cutting through this thing. Pull it out here. You can see what I was doing. So here you got the stitching, and I'm kind of just sneaking it through. So I'm having a real hard time getting it through, but that's a good thing. I want it to be tight. Just got to snake it down to the bottom, and then it's good to go. All right, so that's my final project. So this acts as a holder, so it's not going anywhere. As it's holding this open, it's getting enough space to vent the heat out of here. So I'm going to attach these to the side, this, and we'll come back when it's done. So here's something I'm noticing as I'm pushing this thing through. So it has a little bit of excess material. I got to cut through a little bit here. And then I like to cut away some of the excess material that's left floating around here. But it comes out nice once it's done, or so it seems. So this is the excess material I'm talking about. So I give that like a haircut, just a trim. Scissors. See it. Yeah. It's kind of hard for the camera to focus, but I'm just going to trim it off camera. All right, so I got my tank here. I'm going to put it on there just to make sure it's not interacting with the tank. So, yay. All right, the tank's on there. That's how it looks normally. And I just noticed this. This is the drop pouch. So I got to remove this next. All right, so that was being held in by one strap, and man, looks like it was taking a beating. And a tie wrap holding it on there. This is originally where I would dump my mags for my dye dam, but it would be too heavy, so normally I just put them back in the ammo holders. And this would be used if it was getting low on ammo in the back, but we don't need that anymore, so goodbye. All right, so I got those ones on there. They should look something like that. And because there's arm pads on the sides, that should provide them with a little bit of protection, hopefully. And I'm gonna have the sheath over there eventually. So the next part is to remove these old smoke patches. And I put the grenades in there to get me the ideal spacing. So I was hoping I could push it up further. There's a little space there, but that would be interacting with a grenade. But I'm more worried about it interacting with the tank. So when you take it off, it might be slamming into the back of that. So that's my only concern. It's good on the other side. So I'm gonna put it together and see how it works. Yeah, I needed pliers for this. At least I know once they're in there, they ain't going anywhere. Man. Get out of there. Holy shit. Jeez, they're not even gonna sling this the other way now. If it wasn't hard enough to get it off. Really don't want to break this in the process. I can see it, it's getting a little shitty. The stitching at least, because it's old. Alright, I got that kind of through. Man, these things are such a pain, eh? I didn't realize they were going to be that good. How the fuck do I get this thing through? There we go. I got to push it through. Okay, okay. That's one. I am pretty convinced that this thing ain't going anywhere once I get it on there. Wow, who would have known? These things don't even have push pins like the other one, and they're such a pain to get off. Crazy. All right, so I got the right side set up. As you can see, it's not interacting with the remote line. You got the thing spraying out that way. When I'm facing towards you, see those wires that are shooting the smoke out, shouldn't get hit. You go like that, and I can switch hands as well. So that should not be a problem in any way. And we'll move on to the other side and put that together. And I did get it a little bit closer, the grenade spots. Now I'm curious if I can still pull these out. So, well, I'll grab them, I'll just do like that. It's a little bit harder, it seems like. And down, that's the cap puller. So normally I'll just pull it out. I'm trying not to set it off at all. So you could do that one-handed. It's a lift up and down system, and then you just chuck it. And yeah, we'll do it with the other one too. See how fast I did that? That's one-handed. No Velcro, nothing. That's my own custom-made system there for grenades. And they're on both sides. I just realized another thing. So I was worried about it interacting with the tank. As you can see, it's now disengaged. And I don't even have it in there right now. but it's not really interacting. It's a space higher. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. As long as I have this thing facing back, and I should have enough macro line, or no, air line to do what I need to do. And I could just move this to the direction I need when I need it. We're gonna go hook the other side up. I also think I might be able to squeeze smoke grenade pouches in there, maybe. I'm unsure, but these pretty much are modified smoke grenade pouches, so I'm gonna play around with it, see if I can get it to work, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see how it looks. So those are both faced back. Move. Not too much exposure going on. And I could always adjust these if I want to point it in a certain direction. I'm trying to point it a certain way, so when I'm shooting left, I'm not exposing that outwards, but it's able to shoot around the corner. So I get it to cover, and then I start shooting smoke out to the sides of me, allowing my team to move up. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So these are normally like shoulder mounted spots for smaller smokes. So I don't want anything interacting with this back here. So I've decided to move these things. So they just got out of the wash here. So I'm gonna probably place them right down here. And this is below this safety strap, which goes over your chest normally. And then you have another one, which is the big strap. So that would be on these guys. That's the big strap. And I think this will work very well. All right, I'll come back when it's done. Okay, these are on now. This one's came out perfectly. I was able to weave this back into itself. This one was a little bit messier. So this one I gotta cut these pieces off here and then sand them down with some cardboard, some sandpaper. Onward to the next step. I bought some needles, scissor. This is sort of like an all-in-one kit. Not much of a sewer. I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out. So what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try and sew this like this onto it. I got it in place. Put those tie wraps through the loops that are on the side. Those side pockets are normally for like maps and stuff. So I'm just jury rigging stuff together. Well, we'll see how it comes out. Okay, here's what I did. I put pins in here, here, got them up here, 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 and here. That's gonna hold that in place. And now I can begin sewing. like it's falling apart. Alright. Just need to clean her up now. It's crazy. So old. These are something special, these old ones. Just found out about this. This is a stitch remover. Man, I've been cutting this thing the entire time. Alright, it's about 2 weeks later. If I go close, yeah, I'll try to put some, maybe that's too much light. You can see I stitched the thing all the way around. I skipped these parts, and then I got more stitching up here. You see it. It's all the way around. And the patches are all good where they should be. So next up, I'm gonna flip this thing over. Alright, let's flip her around. Alright, she's flipped around. So next up, what we gotta do is either come in here. So if you look at this, this is what's holding it on there. This is one thing. And I don't like the way this strap looks. So I want to reinforce that strap. If you can see it a little bit better with the light, I want to get it around the back side of that strap that's normally there to reinforce it. So I'll come back when I'm done with that. All right, to give some context to what I'm doing here, you can see that one strap right there. I'm going underneath the loop. I'm going right over top of it. That way it holds this thing right here in place a little bit better. So if this pulls upwards, that's an issue, and I'm afraid this is going to pull it upwards. So I'm just going to tie wrap it tight, and then it should be good. It shouldn't move anywhere. All right, that's done. Next up is I'm going to go ahead and put some tape over this, because I don't know how that spray is going to affect this. And I'm going to bring it outside and spray it down tomorrow, because it's dark out currently right now. And that should fireproof it a little bit here. What I heard is that spray may actually damage the paint on the thing a little bit. I don't think you're really going to see it, so I don't think that matters too much. I just need to spray the inside of the pockets, and I don't know if it'll affect this, but I need to go probably open this guy up here, and then just tape the backside of this guy which is what hooks into the fog machine. And I think we should be good.